This is the 2022 Chevy Bolt, and for this year there are a lot of new things. It's got a different look, different interior, lots of different options, but the best thing is the price. It has a very, very attractive price, which we'll get to in a second. So if you're sick of paying those high fuel prices and you're thinking about getting an EV, this could very well be the one that you should get. Things are starting to get back a little bit more normal. I'm actually headed out of town for a couple of days. So in the meantime, I'm gonna leave this new Bolt to my wife, Cynthia. She's gonna see how it handles the day-to-day activities of our household. And when I come back, we'll talk more about the Bolt. All right, we are in the new Bolt. As I mentioned, I have left this vehicle with Cynthia for the better part of the week. I didn't tell her much about the Bolt. She's never driven it. So I really wanted to see what her initial thoughts are. So, initial thoughts.
Really enjoyed driving this little guy here. It's super quiet and very fast acceleration, great visibility, and super easy on parking.
Yeah, it's a good size. The Bolt has always been a nice size vehicle, and you know what can't you not like about EV, especially when gas prices are so high right now? We're going to get to the price in a second because this is a big deal, the price of this new Bolt. So what's new for this Bolt? Well, the exterior styling is new. We have a new front, a new rear, new headlight assembly, LED headlamps. It's all standard. And in Canada, they've simplified things. You only get one trim level to choose from. So it's easy to choose whatever Bolt you want. So it's an LT trim only in Canada, but it's very, very well equipped. We have 17-inch alloy wheels. And the only thing you have to decide when you select a Bolt is what color you want. If you do want a premium color like this red, it's about $495 extra. And then there is another wheel style that you can also get, but both wheels are 17-inch alloys.
I like that. Make it simple.
Yeah, I know. Some vehicles have so many trim levels and so many packages on top of that, and yeah, it gets a little bit confusing. So there are a couple new things. Well, first of all, on the inside, it's all new as well, but I want to show you, there's this button here. This is brand new. First of all these buttons, they have a push button transmission selector now, but there's a button right behind D, so we're going to press that. Now we have one pedal driving on. A lot of you are familiar with one pedal driving, so you don't really have to use the brake unless you really have to stop quickly. So you can just basically use the regen for braking all the time. And the more you drive the vehicle, the easier it is, because you know how much distance you need to actually stop. It'll come to a complete stop, so you're going to get maximum regen. So here we go here, and
yeah, I haven't tried this on my own yet.
No, this is the first time. Oh yes. So it's quite aggressive. It's quite heavy when you let off the brake. And there also is another option, and this is what I really like. I liked it from the original Bolt, is the Regen On Demand paddle behind the left side of the steering wheel. Let's just turn the one pedal off. Now, if you want, when you let off and use that paddle, just pull the paddle. Yep.
Here?
Yep. Pull and hold it.
Here.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So
Are we starting?
Yeah. So it's like a handbrake kind of thing. And what I like about it, yes, sweetie, 1 second. What I like about it is that you can use however much you want. So it's not like just a set amount. If you're going down a big hill, and you can just hold it, and it's going to regen some power back into it. Question from the back seat. Yes.
I just saw a cat in a window from a house.
She saw a cat in a window of a house. It was a Halloween cat. Wow, they're really early or really late.
A couple months or to go.
Yeah. So anyway, so that is the Regen On Demand on there. Inside, you have a nice 8-inch display and a brand new Infotainment 3 system from GM, and that's a 10.2-inch display. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto comes standard with it. It's really nice. Also standard are heated seats for the front and a heated steering wheel And one thing that I'm so glad they addressed on the previous generation Bolt, I couldn't stand the seats. It basically would dig into your thigh when you're getting in and out, and they have addressed that. We have brand new seats in here. Anyways, what do you think about the comfort?
Super comfortable here. I do really enjoyed the wireless Apple CarPlay because, this whole week we've been running around in and out a lot. The one thing I had to worry about is, plug my phone in to get all that information transferred.
You're wondering about the power plant, what's under the hood. Well, there is no internal combustion engine, but there are electrical items underneath the hood here. There is a 200 horsepower, 150 kilowatt motor. This is a front wheel drive only vehicle, and powering that is a 65 kilowatt hour battery. I'm going to address one thing though, because I'm sure some of you are going to comment and ask questions about, about the recall going on for some of the Bolts. There have been some fires, if you read in the news. So that only applies to 2017 to 2019 Chevrolet Bolts. This is a different generation battery. It does not apply to this vehicle. So range-wise, 417 kilometers. How much have you driven this week?
Probably half of that.
Half of that. So we're showing 250K right now. And the nice thing about this system, which I like, right, it gives you a max and a minimum range, meaning that, you could drive it like an animal, and that minimum you're going to get that range, and that really helps for range anxiety for sure. And 417, I've actually, when I picked it up, it was well over 417. So they might be quite conservative of that number, and that's a huge amount. Like, have you charged it this week?
Not a single time.
Yeah. So we are 6 days in of getting this vehicle, and we have not charged it a single time. Which have you been driving it every day?
Yes, I have actually.
Okay, so driving it every day in and around town, doing regular errands. And not having to charge it. So this could be a very viable vehicle for someone that's looking for an EV, and you might not have a regular charging solution for perhaps if you live in an apartment building or a suite where you don't have access to a plug to charge it in overnight or street parking. This can be done very, very easily. Charging can be done on the 110 or of course 240 or DC fast charging on a level 2 240 volt system. It's going to run you about 7 hours to fully charge. Another question back in the rear seat gallery, yes?
Also, there isn't any handles except these.
Okay, we have some observations from the reviewers in the back seat. One is there are no handles on the top. I guess yeah, there's handles in the front, but no handles back there. Anything else?
And also, this spot in the middle of the passenger seat and the driver's seat is actually smaller than I expected it.
Okay, so the armrest in between the two seats is smaller than she expected. Yeah, so it's not that wide, and there isn't a ton of storage here. But for the back seat, how's the room back there? Don't know? It's good? Okay, good. It is. It is average room there. It is nice that it has a nice flat floor in the back seat. And you have a button there, yes. And you can see that they have been kicking the backs of the seats a little bit. So yeah, it could use some extra room. No, don't tap that button. Okay, but if you do need more room, there is an option because there's the new Bolt EUV coming out. And so it's like the Bolt, it has the same power plant, and that will have 3 extra inches of legroom for the rear seat. That new Bolt EUV will have a very special feature available to it, and that is it'll be available with General Motors Super Cruise system. The autonomous system that they have on the Cadillacs, where it'll drive by itself on specific highways, will be available on the EUV. As well, when you buy that vehicle, it will come with a dual purpose plug. Basically, it's a 110 and 240 plug so it's easy to charge, and that comes standard with that vehicle. On this one, it doesn't come standard, it is an option to get. All boats come with Chevrolet Safety Assist as standard equipment, so that includes automatic emergency braking, frontal pedestrian braking, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, follow distance indicator, forward collision alert, and auto high beams. Anything else you noticed while driving it this week?
Well, we had quite a few hot days, and the climate air control, it doesn't work very quickly, especially for the rear seats, because there's no air ventilation there. It took quite a while for them to cool down at the back.
So air vents would be very welcome. Girls, did you want air vents in the back?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so that was one big thing that they said. And you know what's funny is that they have been noticing more and more things because they've been involved in so many car reviews, which is good. They've been pointing out things that are important to them because they're the ones sitting in the back seat, right? So which is really, really good. So would you consider owning one of these vehicles? Would it work for our family?
I think for a second running around car, yes, I would definitely thinking we can have one. It's super easy for short trips, especially. I mean, it has a long range if we need, but just for short running around, so easy. Just so easy. I love driving it, actually.
For us, it's a little bit on the small side. In the rear cargo area, it's nice that the floor it actually drops down, so you can even get more depth if you have taller things to put on there or in there. Now, if you go and get the Bolt EUV, the SUV style Bolt that's coming out, you get that 3 inches extra leg room, but you don't get any extra cargo room there. So that's still going to be a little bit limiting for our family. But if you don't have, don't need a lot of room, like we carry so much stuff when we go to the park and picnics and stuff like that, and the barbecue. We have done it though in the Bolt, so it is possible. But we just like something with a little bit more room. So now let's get to the best thing about this Bolt. In Canada, man, oh man, you have the one LT trim, but the price, they have dropped the price. They've made it so attractive. So it starts at just over $38,000. Okay, that is before any rebates or incentives that you may be eligible for. For instance, in British Columbia here in Canada, that $38,000, you can take $8,000 off, from federal and provincial rebates, making this a $30,000 car. That's really, really attractive, especially for an EV that has a range of over 417 kilometers. But there's still another added bonus in Canada. If you buy a 2022 Bolt or Bolt EUV, GM will go and pay for an installation of a 240 volt outlet for your house. Like, how cool is that? Right? So yeah, there's so much value in this vehicle, and if you're remotely considering an EV, especially for commuting, and it's a big bonus because you get to go in the HOV lane as well, with an EV, you have to check this out. We have friends that have the Tesla Model 3, and it's not even the real long range one. It's only rear wheel drive, so it's a 2-wheel drive. And you think about that vehicle is $20,000 more than what this vehicle cost. Hey, I'd rather have 20 grand in my pocket. Seriously, I could buy a lot of other things for 20K. So really, there is nothing on the market that will touch this Bolt in terms of value, and that includes range and standard features, safety features, creature comforts. This thing really is the full package for sure.
We do have a wish list. I do miss actually the sunroof. It's not a big deal to a lot of people, but for me, I always used to have that extra lighting coming from the top. The girls, they do miss the armrest, which can be pulling down from the middle. Okay. That where they can have their drinks, their cars, and all that stuff.
She misses the TV. Yeah, there's no TVs in this car.
And yeah, a little bit extra room in the back would be great.
Anyways, that's it for our look. Leave a comment below if you have any questions about it. Leave a comment on that as well. If you like the video, what do?
Thumb up and subscribe.
See you in the next video.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Meow.
Meow.